coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boy, that thing fast. Appreciate the support. We out here, man. We getting closer and closer and closer to this meet and greet. We need some more people to show up. We need y'all to lock in your tickets so we'll know how to get this catering in order. We don't want to over order and we don't want to under order. So put your bids in, man. Show up and show out. Come out and have a great night, man. Have some fun. Let's talk. Let's laugh. Let's eat. You know, tell some stories, man, and just kick it. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of y'all who plan on coming to come to the meet and greet, man, and make it a great event. It'll be our first. It'll be historic. You'll be a part of it. I would like for all of y'all to be a part of it. So show up and show out, man. Get your tickets, man, with Hardcore Boxing News. Also, get your raffle tickets. Also, you can donate if you cannot participate and just help make this thing, a great event like we want it to be. So, big love to everybody who's going to be a part of it. I appreciate you. I look forward to it. Anticipation is crazy. Also, do not forget, man, to go follow me on Facebook. Banky Pound for Pound. I'm trying to get 10,000 followers over there so we can monetize and put videos over there as well. Tell stories over there as well. Enlighten the people over there as well, like we're doing over here. So salute to everybody that's with me, man. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, man. Today, one of them videos, man. It's one of them videos because it's on my mind, so I want to speak about it. This is definitely one of the worst things that can happen to you when you're in prison. One of the worst things, man, and I've seen it in all shapes, forms, and fashions, unfortunately. But one of the worst things that can happen to you in prison, man, and it happens to most people if you stay there long enough, is to lose loved ones. Man, that's one of the worst things that can happen to you in prison. It takes you to a new low, a low that you didn't know that you can go to just because you can't do nothing about it, man. You helpless. And I know people might say, well, even when you're on the street, you can't do nothing about it. Nah, you can't. But you usually on the street when things like that happen, you surrounded with other people that's in your family or other loved ones that's going through the same thing. So you get that comfort. You know what I'm saying? It may not, be everything, but it's something. You get other people feel your pain. In prison, no one feels your pain because everybody is going through what they're going through. And, as cruel and as vicious as it sounds, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. And when people know that, it brings out something in you. I've seen people, man, lose loved ones, man, and just go slam off. I mean, dudes that was doing their bit, man, and was in their little zone where they knew how to do their bit and was functioning and, programming or whatever you want to call it. And that happens, man, and takes them completely out of their whole bit, man. I've seen dudes go off and attack the police. I've seen dudes attack other dudes. I've seen dudes try to take their self out. You name it, man. You name it. And the worst one, I would guess I could say, would be losing your parents or either your children. Just imagine that, man. That's a devastating loss in itself. But just imagine getting that news, being in the position that you in, being incarcerated, being in misery, being in violence, and being around people that you don't want to be around, and in these conditions, and you get that type of news, man. It's devastating, man. I'm telling you, it's devastating. I can remember being around one of my homeboys, man, when he found out you know, he lost his mother, man. And it's a big dude, strong dude, always laughing, always joking. I'm talking about the waist was his whole life, you know. And the dude I'm speaking about in this particular incident, man, it was Cowboy, man. Y'all heard me speak about Cowboy before. And Cowboy was a big old rough joker, man. Just put it that way. Had a lot of life in him, though. You know, a lot of life here. Been through a lot of battles in prison, man. Prevailed. You know, some would say he had a lot of larceny with him. But like I told you, I ain't never judged nobody like that. I judge people by how they deal with me. You could be larceny hard to do. I could see it in you. Cause I can see. But as long as you don't bring it to me, I'm not gonna judge you for what you doing somewhere else or who you doing something with somewhere else. It's not my business. And I know a lot of people can't adapt to that, but you have to be able to adapt to that type of understanding and that type of judgment when you're in prison. I can't judge people for what other people say about them or what they do to somebody. That don't affect me. It don't affect me. It affect me the way you deal with me. You understand? As long as you respectful to me and I'm being respectful to you and we got that understanding and we don't bring no larceny to each other, then I can be all right with you, you know? And that's how me and Cowboy was, you know? So, um, yeah, man. And, you know, he just, you know, all the time you always gonna see him. He always gonna be upbeat. He always gonna be lifting weights. He always gonna be trying to find a hustle. He always gonna be on every woman that walk by. He on her. You know what I'm saying? He shooting this shot at everybody. You know, um, but man, when they got that news, man, it just broke him all the way down, man. I mean, he was in deep depression, man. He ain't want to come out the cell. And I can remember going in the cell, man, and just chopping it up with him and talking to him, man, and seeing this big, muscle bound, crazy, wild dude, man, just crying, man, and seeing the pain in his eyes and hearing it in his voice and snot running down his nose. And he like, man, that's all I had, man, with my mom, man, my mom, you know, and it was crazy. And I could feel the pain because I'm right there. You know, it made me feel it, you know. And I think when it was all said and done, when that was all over, man, you know, when I stayed down there with him and we talked, man, we talked like grown men, man. And you know, I checked on him, man, for the rest of that week, man, and just, you know, stop by the cell and see was he all right, this, that, and the third, because dudes don't even want to come out. And it's a good thing sometimes because you got so much inside you, you don't want to be around nobody that might bring it out you. And that can happen in prison very easily. So, you know, you got all this in you, you walk by a dude, he bump you wrong, man, and it just can go haywire. So he was doing the smart thing, was isolating himself away from this violent environment that we know, this unpredictable environment that we know, that we live in. So you got to isolate yourself sometimes. Sometimes you got to do that. And that's what he was doing. So I was just checking on to make sure he was all right. And I think, you know, going through that incident, man, by the way prison is, and like I say, it's so, you know, unforgiving and don't nobody really can't trust nobody. I think after we went through that, I think that, you know, made us our bond even stronger like brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I had no doubt in my mind that if I would have gotten in any type of situation whereas to the numbers was against me at this particular time on this particular institution, that he would have been with me. You know what I'm saying? I had no doubt in my mind about that. As what I would have been with him if the roles was reversed. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes dudes can bond as brothers under the worst conditions because we all in here fighting for our freedom. We all trying to see the streets again. We all trying to get out and get back with our family before we even have to deal with some issues like this. You understand? And to lose your mom, the person that gave you life while you were in prison, man, I'm telling you, that's a heck of a blow, man. And I know he was explosive. I know you got no outlet. I know he wanted to just, you know, somebody that he didn't like, you know, because there's nowhere to release that pain. There's nowhere to put it. You know, it's just in your chest, sitting on your chest, man, and it's horrible. You know, and I seen another dude. I knew this other dude that I was on a different institution with, man, and I remember he suffered a mean blow, man, a mean blow, man. Um, I think his fiance, man, was coming to see him, and she coming to see him, excuse me, at that, on her way to a visit, and suffered a fatal car accident. And they had to come tell him he couldn't get his visit because of that. Crushed him, man. Crushed him, because he took blame. He felt like if she won't gonna come see him, that she won't gonna come that day. But he was pressing her because he wanted to see her real bad. And man, he couldn't get over that, man. He couldn't get over that, dog. He went into a deep, deep depression, man. He just started to whittle down. He was a big old dude too. He started to whittle down. He wasn't working out. He wasn't eating. He wasn't coming out his cell. He always looked sad. He had this look on his face like it just crushed him. It just crushed him, dog. You know, because like I say, it wasn't nothing he could do about it, and he took ownership. Like he felt like it was his fault. If she wouldn't have been, won't come and see me. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, the plans that God got have already been made, man. But you can't see that. You're not gonna understand that. You just gonna feel the way you feel. Couldn't nobody talk to him. It was a couple of dudes that grew up with him. Used to try to talk to him. He didn't want to talk. His seller said he was the same way. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to do anything. So man, it was a wild situation, man. But like I say, I done been in those type of situations, man, where I'd have been around dudes that suffered those type of losses. And it used to affect me because I used to be so nervous, and I used to, you know, you always got to visualize. You got to visualize, well, what even when you see dudes get the rumbling, or you see Bethlehem play, or you see some type of violence, you got to put yourself in those scenarios whether you want to or not, because it could be you. Why? Because you in the same environment. So you have to assess that. You have to pay attention and say, and you got to pick up notes from that so you'll know what to do. Because you see what they didn't do, what they should have did, what was how. All of these is learning tools in prison. When you see something pop off, you looking. You got some dudes is just looking because they knows. You got some dudes who run the stuff because they knows that they want to see something, but they don't want to be in nothing. But then other people like me, if I pay attention, I'm paying attention to the scenario. How did it happen? How did it pop off? Why won't he prepare? What he could have do to have been better prepared? That type of stuff. It's survival skills for me. If I'm watching, it's survival skills. So it's the same thing when you see people that suffer these type of losses. You got to put yourself in it, no matter how much you don't want to, because you don't want to think about losing someone that close to you. You don't want to think about losing nobody at all. But you got to say, how am I gonna handle this if I have to handle this? You know, because victory favors the prepared man. If you're not prepared for something, man, and it just hits you, anything could happen. You know, so just the thought of those things was horrible to me. Horrible to me. You understand? And then you got dudes, man, that oh man, this stuff get wicked, man. I'm telling y'all, it gets wicked. I know this one dude, man. He had like a 15-year-old daughter, right? And some type of way, somebody um had snatched his daughter, and beat her up real bad, and the R word her, and yeah, man, and she ended up, succumbing to her injuries and passed away, right? And man, when he got that news, man, that's some hard news, dog. And he went berserk. And he went straight to a dude that he knew that was in there for that. And he acted like it was him. He acted like it was him. Everybody in there knew that this dude had that type of charge. Ain't no whole lot of dudes rock with him or nothing like that. But for the most part, he was trouble free because he stayed out the way, because he knew he had to stay out the way, because dudes don't really, don't really be rocking with dudes like that. Not necessarily somebody just going at him trying to hurt him. They just don't deal with them because they feel like them different type of dudes. You understand? So he just went straight to him, man, and he savaged him, dog. If they don't stop him, he would have beat him to death. If they do not stop him, he would have beat him to death. And dude don't even know why he getting whooped. He don't know why he's struggling and fighting for his life. And he did fight. He fought back, but he wasn't capable of, he just wasn't physically capable of beating dude. And dude, you could see he was like he was possessed. He just was, every time he can get him down, the dude trying to fight back, but every time he could pin his arms down, he just was savaging him. You know what I'm saying? Just going crazy. I mean, he foaming at the mouth, hollering, screaming, grabbing him, trying to choke him, trying to bang his head into the marble or floor. And they just was fighting like cats and dogs, man. The dudes is looking around like, man, what's up, man? What they do? What he say to him? But it was all about that. It was all about the news that he got on that phone. It was all about that. See what I'm saying? This is the things that I'm saying, that he necessarily had to be that type of scenario. But these type of things happen like that. People get on the phone and get devastating news and just blank out. It's blank out. So that's why you always got to be prepared in penitentiary. Knowing that you ain't do nothing to nobody don't mean ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. I'm gonna say that again. Just the fact that you know you ain't do nothing to nobody, you ain't oppose nobody, you ain't offend nobody, does not mean no one is going to try to do something to you. It does not mean that in prison. It doesn't. You minding your business, and it does not mean that ain't nobody else going to mind your business. It does not mean that, man. So, and I don't think, I know for a fact, he ain't see that coming. He ain't see it coming, and he probably ain't know what it was for till later on down the line. Till later on down the line, man. And these type of things this is prison news, man. It happens all the time in prison, and people y'all don't get this type of information out here on the street. Y'all don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't get this type of news. Dudes would take off on dudes that doing something. If somebody's doing something to their people on the street, or somebody did something to their people on the street, if somebody's in prison for that same crime, I have seen it time and time again. The dude in prison will act like that's the person that's doing this to their sister. That's the person that's doing this to their mama. That's the person who did that to their brother. And you got a beef already. You don't even know why. You don't even know if he guilty of the crime that he charged of. But this is the environment that we in. This is the type of things that happen. So another reason why y'all can understand why dudes in prison are so paranoid. And people would normally say, "Oh, you paranoid because you did a whole lot of stuff, and you're nervous because you don't know where it's coming from." Nah, sometimes, maybe, sometimes, some cases, but nah, in prison, it can come for no reason. It can come for accusations. It can come from something that happened with somebody else. It can come just because it's your time today. It's your turn. So that's why dudes is paranoid. Because of the lifestyle that we gotta live, the things that we done seen. So when you seen it, you know it can happen. If it can happen, it can happen to you. You see what I'm saying? It can happen to you. It ain't no coincidence. I'm telling you, man, there's no coincidence, man, that every dude that has did a substantial amount of time, 10 years or better, is not a coincidence, brother. He's a walking miracle to be back out here, because it ain't guaranteed, though. It ain't guaranteed. And the more they done did, dudes like Fly, shout out to Fly, so 50 years? If you can survive 50 years of that, that's the equivalent to being at war every day for 50 years. We ever had a war that lasted for 50 years on the ground, in the battlefield war that lasted for 50 years? I ain't never heard of it. No, man. So, that's why the dudes that have survived those type of things, man, they deserve a certain level of respect, man. I respect any dude who did all of that type of time. And I don't even gotta know them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even gotta know them. If they out here now and they coherent, they cognitive, and they moving in the positive, I ain't even gotta know them. I just salute. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the fortitude, the endurance they had to make it through that. The luck / God that they have to make it through that. You know, my luck is God and the squad. So the God and the squad, they had to make it through that type of 50 years. Phew, T's and P's. So, you know, and then the devastating losses you taking during this time. Parents, grandparents, kids, siblings, cousins, nieces, nephews. You could lose anybody in there, and you just pent up. You can't do nothing. Sit in your cell and get up under the sheets by yourself and try to, you know what I'm saying, let it out, you know, with everything around you not caring, not even one little bit, not even nothing. It's nothing to them. It's nothing to them. It's not them. It's not their life. It's nothing to them. And it's everything to you. You understand? So it's wicked, man. It's wicked up in there, man. It's wicked. But when them people lose people, man, you have to be aware, man. You have to be on your game because you don't know what they might do. And you don't, and this is the thing. Every time somebody on the phone, you don't know when they getting off that phone, what type of information that they just received. You don't know that. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, the dudes, when I say dudes come to prison and they deep in the game now, because you in prison, you deep in the game if you in prison. But you got the rules missing. See, they don't know these things. That's why when people get arguing about the phone or whatever, you don't know what type of information that man just got off the phone when he got off there. You don't know why he redialing. If he redialing, you just worried about he redialing and you next on the phone. You don't know if he redialing because somebody just got, you know, taken off of this earth that means a lot to him, that's near and dear to him. But you pressing him because you got an issue that you just want to call somebody just so you can kick the bobo. But he want to call somebody because it's life and death on the line. And then when those two things collide, got another life and death situation right there. See what I'm saying? Deep in the game, got the rules missing. You got to know. You got to read body language. You got to read body positioning. You got to read the eyes. You got to read the tone. You got to be able to read these type of things. And these type of things can't nobody tell you. You have to get it and learn it on your own. And the only difference is learning these things on your own. One mistake, and all the learning is over. All the living is over. All the life is over. No mistakes allowed. Slips count too. Slips count too. You understand? Ain't nobody gonna care because you didn't know. Who cares? Who cares? You understand? Dirty life, man. It's a dirty life, man. Yeah, man, but, you know, I know it's kind of depressing because it's depressing me right now. So we don't just gonna tell you this. But anyway, man, I just wanted to put that information out there too. Just another reason, man. Stay free, brothers and sisters. Stay free, man. Stay free, man. Trust me. Trust me. Best decision you can make in this lifetime is to stay free. Keep your liberation, my brothers and sisters. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. If you want some more of this, also let me know. I wouldn't be mad if you don't, but if you do, just let me know, because I'm here to give out information that would be impactful, information that would be useful, information that you could pass on to somebody who might need it, somebody who might need to hear it, somebody who it might change, you know, their thought pattern, man, and put them on the right track. Because we don't need nobody up in these situations. We don't need nobody up in these conditions. You understand? So appreciate you all, man. Y'all salute. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Man, make sure you go follow me on Facebook. Banky Pound for Pound. We're going to be telling new stories over there just as soon as we get monetized. And make sure you come pull up on me at this meet and greet. We might be telling stories right there. Make sure you get your tickets with Hardcore Boxing News. Make sure you get with this raffle, man, so you can get this 75-inch TV. And if you can't do none of that, and you say, well, I still support the platform, I still support the movement, donations is accepted and appreciated. Big love. Let's go. Let's get it. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. Duck them hooks. Yeah, I know that one was a little bit faster there, so you know I can speed it up a little bit more too. Not right now. Peace. The
Thank you special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.